meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody have time to read the minutes from the last meeting?
Yeah. I'll second.
Trish,
Yes.
I just wanted to ask or clarify. Luigi said something, repayment on the county loan plus interest, we're not charging interest. We are? We are. Oh,
It was reduced rate.
okay.
I don't remember the rate off the top of my
Okay.
head, but I know it was reduced. Any other questions or discussion? I got a motion, I got a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Budgetary status. Everybody have a chance to review that?
Move we approve the budget status of the county.
Second.
Any other discussion? All agree, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Sheriff Alex. You were first.
Oh, boy, good deal. I brought Dan Knoll with me this morning, who might stand today. He's the interim superintendent of the schools, and he would like to present his ideas for the second school resource officer. I'll yield the floor to him, then I'll speak. Okay? Yeah.
Thank you very much for allowing me to come today. My name is Dan Knoll, and I am the interim superintendent. And this is my 6th time I've been an interim superintendent. So, and I've been an actual superintendent for a number of years in the principal. And I welcome the opportunity to be here at the school system and also here. We're going to talk a little bit about the resource officers. They're very, very important to us. And the proposal is to have FEMA, which I really feel like we need. I've been very fortunate to have great resource officers. And they do more than just, a lot of people think they just arrest people. And that's not what they're there to be there to assist kids, counsel, just menagerie of things. And we are very, very fortunate to have a great one right here. He does a great job. You know, I can't say enough about him. The only problem he has is he has a white dog, a big one, and my wife is an animal lover, Miss Carrot, but you guys will get to meet her. She's not here right now. I live in Anderson, by the way. I drive down every morning. And if she had a farm, it would be full of animals. She has a cat and a dog. And I said to her sometimes, she is the best thing that ever happened to me. But I say, you know, if you just treat me like that cat or dog, I'd really appreciate it. But that being said, she's going to be here tomorrow for homecoming, and make sure you get along the street. Because our principal and I, we're going to ride a golf cart or something, and we're throwing out candy. And if you come, we have payday candy bars, so I'll be paying you, okay? But anyway, and then she's coming back on Monday, because I have to go to the eye doctor and get my eyes dilated because I'm diabetic. I won't be able to see anything to drive down here, so she's driving me back down for Monday afternoon. But that being said, it is really important. I thank you for the funds that you've donated to us. But I need to let you know also, the state cut our funds in half. We usually get 60,000, and they did it to everybody, not just us. And we got 30. So that hurts. So that's just, and we actually do need a female because there's so many things that happen that even though as good as our resource officer happens to be, you know, we need that female touch to work with kids. you know, people don't understand that, you know, they just do so many things. Like I said at the beginning, I've been so fortunate. I was in Florida for 18 years. So I said, why did you come back? Well, because my mother-in-law had to mention some things. We came back, she's from Rushville. And those people I had, they just work with our kids. And you know, what is the most important thing we have here in this community or any communities? Our youth, our kids. You know, I had a little guy yesterday. The principal come down and said, we're having some problems. Can you come down? I'd already seen him. And he said, well, are you the CEO? And I said, this guy's in second grade. CEO? I said, I had never heard that from a second grader. And I said, well, I guess you could say I am. He said, are you boss? I said, well, I guess you could say that too. And so we talked a little bit, kind of that. And he says, well, me and you could be friends. Do you have any treats in your desk? I said, I happen to have a Reese cup. You like Reese cup? First I offered him, I had a Rice Krispie treat. He said, I don't like that. I said, how about a Reese cup? Yep. So now me and him are friends, and I go down the hall. But see, that relationship like that is so important for kids. You know, our kids, we have a lot of kids at any school that just don't have a proper home life they need that. And he happened to be one of those kids. You know, he knows that every day, me and him have a little path that I'm going to see. You know, I said, I'm going to come down. And I was like, great, see how you're doing today. So he expects that. I've already been down there this morning. And you know, I said, no, we got to have a deal here. Don't tell every kid in your class I have candy in my desk, okay? That's very important. I don't have that many Reese cups, and the scared didn't give me that many. But, you know, I have no idea how long I'm going to be here. I hope for a while. I know we're interviewing candidates and that kind of stuff, and that's fine. But there's just been situations that we need to get cleaned up, and that's what I'm doing right now. Kind of just you know, get everything to where it needs to be. You have a great school system here. Your buildings are great. You've got great principals, great teachers. They're very, very clean. The facilities are good. And I appreciate that. But, you know, Miss Karen and I, we're pretty serious about this stuff. I'm 74 years old. I'm not that old, okay? Well, I almost agreed with you about having a German. I just thought I'd let you know. You know, I said, I'm going to have a talk. So, you know. But no, Miss Karen and I think so serious about this. When I left the house this morning, I told her what I was doing. And she said, you tell them. Listen, and she's not been here yet. Just what I tell her. She'll be here tomorrow for the first time and then Monday. She said, you just tell them that as long as you're superintendent, we're going to donate $40 of your pay for this because she thinks that's that important. Because she's been in the school system. So I'm not telling you that to boast or brag or anything like that. But that's how serious we feel about it. And I feel so serious about our kids here. So I just want to let you know, if you got any questions, come into my office, come call me. You're welcome at any time. If you call me on my cell phone, it's somehow my wife hooked me up with a 912 number. And that's Savannah, Georgia. So I'm not going to talk to you like I'm wanting you to buy car warranty, because that's what happens when you get one of those 912 calls. They say, I'm calling you about your car warranty. But you're welcome to call me. And I'll tell you my number. Look, should I this is that this put out to everybody? I'll tell you separately, okay? And everybody email. You can use the school. Just feel free to do it. Because you guys, you know, you'll see me around. I usually wear a shirt that says, you know, superintendent, whatever. Because, you know, if I go in the grocery store here, which I did the other day, to buy something for lunch, they said, you're the guy at school. You're that guy at school, aren't you? Oh, you're that superintendent. Because you know what? They're going to tell me what the problems are. My job is to listen and see if I can find things to make it better. You guys have a thankless job. I know you do, because you get a lot of stuff, you know, if people want to complain and that kind of stuff. but feel free, you know, if you get information, you know, let me know, you know, and I'll do my best. But thank you very much for your time. Great to meet you. I'd like to put a face, you know, and I have to apologize to that lady. I've met her and I didn't even know it. I thought I did, but I didn't. She says, "Oh, yeah, we met." I said, "Sorry." You know, but, you know, the problem is, everybody has one name to learn mine, and I've got a whole menagerie. And I want to tell you too, appreciate this guy over here. He's worked very, very hard to get this position for us. And we're combining the funds from over at College Corner and every place we possibly can, donations you guys put out for us to have. And we think we can get it funded, but I may be back in here saying, hey, I need a couple of extra more bucks. We're gonna do the best we can. I worked very, very hard at getting the proper funding. So we're working every grant we can. So thank you, sir, for your time, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
When John Edge was superintendent of schools, he applied for a grant and got $72,000 that's in an account right now for the schools, for the resource officer, for the county's, or for the schools portion. As I've said in the past, the only thing we need to come up with as a county would be around $20,000, on the low side, $20,000, between 18 and 20 to be exact. And we've got an inventory built up of a lot of weapons we're gonna sell. Jeff Franklin's been working on that inventory. We're not quite finished with it yet, but as of now, I have 70 weapons that we can sell. And that money will go to county general, and I think we could maybe use that money, if that's what you folks would like to do, to finance this second resource officer. Also, we get money each year from the government, well, from the state, for housing DOC inmates. And Lynn, it's probably $21,000 a year. Has been ever since I've been sheriff. So. And that's a good thing, because we don't house that many inmates. There are other counties that DOC owes them thousands and thousands of dollars, and so we don't have that problem. So we get $21,000 a year, and most of the time it's in September, and so I thought we could maybe use that. I feel like that the return on our investment will be great, and we've had a lady go through the process last weekend to be the school resource officer. She's already had her resource officer training. And of course, you'll have to go through the academy within a year. And then, but like I said before, I've talked to the state, and she can work in the summertime. She can work in the jail, and she's qualified now. She's a corporal in the jail at this time. So I feel like it would be a good return on our investment, and I am completely, painfully aware of the cuts that we're facing. I really am. And so I just wanted to throw it out there. And if it doesn't go through, it won't be because we all haven't tried to do our best to make this happen. All right.
The money that's in the DOC account, Lynn, what
It's
do you
in
normally
public,
use that for?
it's in public safety. It goes back into public safety, because that's where all of the jail stuff comes out of. I mean, all the inmate stuff comes, because public safety funds the jail side, so it goes back in there. It just, it goes into whatever, I don't know, it's just a general thing, isn't it? But
So we don't have that earmarked for anything?
no, it's just a thing that we get a stipend. Because we don't actually hold DOC prisoners, the state pays certain counties just by the paperwork that the judge sends for those prisoners, and that comes through every year. And we just were talking with the amount that we will be charging them daily for the resource officer will be more, because they've agreed to pay extra, so it will be more than what we are paying for our resource. We will get more back for that resource officer than we did than we are the first one. Because we've upped what they are going to be paying on a daily basis for having that resource officer in the school. And I don't know the exact figure because I have looked at it for a long time. But it has been given to the school, and they've agreed that would be paid. And it includes just about, it includes a lot.
So it was mentioned that the funds from the state were cut in half from 60 to 30K. Does that mean the county is now going to have to pay 30K more for the existing one, or the
I
schools
think we
picking
still
it
got
up?
money in. I don't know
No.
that answer.
No.
Everybody across the state almost got a 50% cut every place. You know, we've done our best to be able to finance that cut, you know.
And you think even with the coming cuts, even more was Senate Bill 1 that you guys are still gonna be able to fund?
Yes, sir. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't think we could.
Jeff, you said she would be attending the academy
Yes,
and then coming in to work for, as a jailer in the summertime,
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
correct?
yes.
With her qualifications, if needed, could she be a road deputy?
She will, yes. In the
She will-
future,
She could fill in.
She will be a road officer, she will be
qualified
as a road officer, she
officer.
has to be. I mean, that's the only way we can hire an SRO, because
Right.
they have to be able to work both sides. So she would be another road officer. Now, if there's need for her in the summertime, say somebody's gonna be off all summer, then she wouldn't necessarily have to come in the jail,
Right,
correct? We
right.
would use her as a road officer, but if we have every position full and we don't, then we could use her on the jail side. Or she could be you know, administrative, whatever we would need, we would still, the salary would be the same, because you're gonna have a year's salary, so that
Yes.
money would just be used. She would be placed wherever needed for the, and actually, it's not even June, July, and part of August, and it's basically right at 3 months, a little bit less than 3 months, actually, that we have to actually find something. for
See,
her to
that's
do.
how Deputy Shoemaker is working now as well. When school's not in session, he's available to work the road, things like that. But jailers can't come out and work the road, but road officers can go work in the jail. But she will be qualified as a road officer when she finishes her academy training.
And
She has a year to do that.
Is she open to doing that?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
I have a question. All right, now, we're still paying for the OASI and insurance.
But she won't need insurance.
She's not going to need insurance.
She's still on her father's insurance for the next 2 years.
And longevity.
She
Hers
will,
is- She's already been getting it, so it's not gonna,
Yeah.
it's not going to affect.
Because she was a jailer.
yeah.
She's been in jail, and she's been there enough that her longevity's just going up a little bit each year, you know, I mean, it's not anything that we would have to. And if she's going from the jail to the road, that money could be taken, I mean, you know, that money's there, because she's already been figured in for longevity for next year. So it's there in this scope of things, I don't know. Because I already figured all that. And I would bill, I usually bill differently, I usually bill like in December, but I could bill monthly, I have not a problem, I don't think the school has, as long as I get it in, so they can approve it at the school board, it's never been a problem for the school, I take it up, and Jennifer, she gets the school board, and we've never had a problem with getting
So we could be reimbursed on a
anything
more,
paid, it's not
more
been,
frequent basis than what we are now.
it's been easy to get
What
taken
time
care of.
frame are you looking at as soon as this hire? She got to go through the academy first?
She has a year to complete the academy, but she won't start her position as SRO till January because that's when the new budget takes effect. And by the way, if you remember, I did not put that in our new budget because I wasn't sure how this was gonna turn
No, I'm not. You.
out. I know.
So I have a question on the grant that the school's already received for $72,000. Is that a renewable grant? Will we get that?
Yes, that's renewable.
Every year?
I'm sorry, I should let him answer that.
And that would be for both of the SRO.
And I believe this one, the other one, I think they pay 2/3 roughly, and this one would be more like, we would only pay maybe a fourth, I think is how it equals.
That's the way we figured it
It's
was
how
built.
we sort of figured
Right.
it out. I don't know, like I said, I don't have the exact figures, I could get those to you, but I just haven't sat down and done them all the way through yet.
Well, it certainly seems like a win-win. The school's getting an extra resource officer, we're getting extra, and we're getting a jailer, possible additional road deputy for a lot less money, as far as
Right,
financial
and she would
wise.
be, yeah, because she's a jailer now, so
Right.
that, there's,
Right. I do see the value in having a female in the schools.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
So are you wanting, okay, you're wanting her to start in January, not
Yes.
right now?
No. No. Because we could use this time from now till January to get her field training officer time. Qualifications with firearm, and defensive tactics, and
And
all
it's not
the-
gonna cost us anything for that because
She's
we
already-
have an extra, I mean, we have a float jailer, so if she would leave, you know, I mean, if she'd still get paid, but if she would go to school some of the days or have to do something, it's not gonna cost us extra money to be training her as
Right.
far as that goes.
Same way with uniforms, she's got her uniforms already. So, and that's a huge expense.
So Jeff, when is she gonna do the academy?
I have to coordinate that with the academy classes coming up. I've got Andrew Stansberry, who's a road officer now, he will be going to the academy in, I think in January. So she would probably do the academy probably from, when did Josh go, May?
Probably October to January, so
It's 4
she
months.
wouldn't miss a lot of the school because we'd be out December, you know, so, I mean, we'll just look at that. There may be we may look and see, there may be a summer one, I don't know if there's 3 or 2,
Right.
I don't know what the academy
Normally, there's only
is.
2.
This year or next year?
It would be next year.
She'll have a year from the time she starts.
So she would have all of
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
And as long as you have them signed up, even if she would go the late one, even if it runs into the next year, they're still.
Yeah, even if they're signed up to go and it's past their year, they're okay.
No, I think it's a great idea, but I think we need to wait on the final decision till we go through the budget and see what dollars,
Okay.
where we can move things around.
Yeah.
It's-
And then commissioners will have to approve it.
Right. Okay.
Is everybody else okay with that? Just kind of watch it, I mean, we're gonna scrap the budget today, so kind of look and see.
And it would be a little, I think what we figured, it'd be 18 to, it's not more than 20, I know.
Right.
And I think it was, I don't know that, but I think it was closer to about 18. So, I mean, just for that figure, when you're looking at the budget.
Okay. Gentlemen, I think, sounds like the overall consensus, give us a day, let us look at this budget and
Right.
look at our funds,
I
and
completely understand.
it certainly isn't because we don't think it's important, because I
Right.
think there's not anyone here that doesn't think it's important.
Just the state's cut our funds too, so.
Good.
See how it shakes out, and definitely got that at the top of your page to look for. See what we can do,
Okay, thank you.
okay?
Thank you.
Thank you both. Okay, you got something for us?
Well, I'm just returning because last month forgot to be advertised.
Oh, yeah, that's all the opioid funds.
Yeah. And I didn't, I'm on Staples, so I couldn't staple the pages together, sorry. And I just had the one, not two.
Isn't this the same thing you gave us last time?
Yeah, I didn't know we would have a
No, I
copy.
still have one.
I didn't know if you could have one.
No, I'll take one just to keep my eye. Thank you.
Like I said, I just returned because last month wasn't advertised.
So, but this is startup money for the SAD chapter.
Yes. And it's Jennifer Brannon and Kayla Hughes. Those are the 2 teachers that have come up to be the sponsor of the book.
Beth, what do we have left in there again? The opioid, unrestricted. No, it's plenty here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any budget this time.
Last time I checked, it was,
There's just plenty.
Okay, doesn't, Fayette County, when they do their opioid funds, don't they like have a window where it's open for requests and people come in and ask, and then that's like the
Well,
year thing?
from what I've gathered, every county has their own,
Sure.
has their own style.
Yeah.
One county has a specific window. Big county, they kind of come random. Like I said, it depends on the county. I've seen them different.
Do you know, are there other groups in Union County that would want to tap into this money? Or, 'cause I mean, it seems, if I'm remembering correctly, the school's about the only one that's asked for anything. I'm just wondering if there's other groups that could use this as well.
I tried to spread the word.
Okay.
The health department.
Tell them.
Mhm.
Yes.
But I do see people, I do, some of my colleagues are in the treatment area,
Mhm.
because it's right, I try to tell them.
Okay. That's all you can do.
Is it going to be a yearly reimbursement or?
I have a question. I thought the one that you brought last month was for the Haven partnership, not the SAT chapter.
No, that one is, I didn't bring that one back. What was just the issues on that one?
So you're not asking for 17,000, you're asking for 7.
Right. And that was a separate project too.
Mhm. So is that reflected on the
No,
additional?
the additional was asking for 17. We can reduce it.
Okay.
We just can't increase it after it's advertised.
I move we approve $7,000 for the SAD chapter.
Second.
Any other discussion, any other questions?
The kids already actually started working on it every week. So, you know.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
As well as the middle school, they're doing a, they both do an activity. So, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Excited there.
Okay, so we have next. Yeah, something to come before us as well?
For this open discussion?
Yes.
On any topic, okay. Well, you said you wanted some suggestions on Tuesday night, so I thought I'd put this in writing. You with the nickel and diming and the moving from this line to that line, and I think we need some major restructuring. Comes from both my husband and I. Day meetings are difficult for farmers, I find it. So, this is all in regards to the local income tax rate that we all discussed Tuesday night. And, I think we have to make some really bold, aggressive moves on some things. And I know this probably won't be something, it's all gonna be very difficult and long-term. But I think it kind of requires subcommittees of your group or of some sort to work on some of these issues. The first idea we thought, in terms of the DNR, we've lived here now, of course, Tom before me came back, we've been here 27 years. And ever since we were here, 1998 was our first year, there's been a discussion of getting money from DNR to help cover the costs of the sheriff and the ambulance that go to the park. To no avail. It falls on deaf ears every single time. I don't know what else you could do. You can get Jeff Ratz, you can get Lisa Pedersen to help. But you need to do something bold. Perhaps just say, we can't cover it. It's DNR, it's state land. It's a park. They need to handle that. Or come up with the sufficient funds to cover it for the expenses here, especially in light of all the machinations that have gone on with the property taxes and now trying to get more money out of income taxes. I know it's a long-term thing. Tom and I were involved in working with the DNR on drainage for farms because we were being put under restrictions, the same thing as the land around Indianapolis where the big warehouses are and the drainage. It's not the same issue. And we've kind of talked about this, you know, one size doesn't fit all in this state. And we need to start pounding that idea home with people. Our second idea is, you know, the schools have had to consolidate, businesses have cut costs. Why don't we combine the sheriffs and the police department? Again, the Liberty Town Police Department. Again, an idea that I know people will fight against, but there's gotta be economies of scale to help reduce our costs in some fashion. And then the gentleman on Tuesday night, I don't recall his name, who suggested looking at the township monies, that their balance sheets are rather healthy, and couldn't some of that money be used maybe towards EMS, the additional costs that you're incurring in this new budget year? I don't know, but
Well, that's something you have to go through the legislature.
well, do we know that it's a
Well, that has to go through the township budget committee. I mean, they're the ones.
Well, I mean, they did, in Senate Bill 1, it's set up to where they have to come up with a plan on how to use that, or what they're gonna use that money for. If
use
they're not-
their balance?
Their balance. If
Since-
they don't use it all, then some of that gets transferred for roads. That's how the legislature set that, so, this year.
And so that it cannot be used for other county needs, is that what you're saying?
Well, that's the way I understand what they've written out this year. Because Marion County, and the big counties up there, they have millions of dollars of surplus.
I'm sure.
Townships.
Well, I would encourage you to investigate that further, not in terms of going to other individuals. Those are tax dollars that have already been collected from all of us. So you're collecting it, it's getting held, it's not being used. It's not being used, I would say, where we all think it needs to be. You know, if people are set on having EMS, that's an expense
Well,
that continues
the
to
people
go
in
up.
the townships aren't paying towards EMS because they pay.
Well, I'm saying,
big county
let's
taxes.
look at giving us more. You know, if these balance sheets are $100,000 in each of the county, townships, why not use some of that money rather than going back to the taxpayer for an increased rate, is what I'm arguing. And then, again, economies of scale, we need to be looking at merging counties. And we're not talking, Tom and I aren't talking just two. We wouldn't pick Fayette because their LIT is higher than ours, but Wayne County would be one. I go back and forth, some people are arguing in the community, well, it doesn't have to be contiguous. Let's go with Dearborn County, something to that. I think that might be a little bit difficult to try to figure out. But Mitch Daniels proposed this, it got shot down with him, that was over a decade ago now. But we need to look at 8 to 10 rural counties. It also is gonna end up hopefully being a political force where perhaps Indianapolis will start listening rather than little tiny Union County. And then the only other thing we feel strongly about is we need better communication. And I know there's a new website that they're working on. You know, your meeting was advertised on that website to start at 12 a.m. today. So there's things that need to be done to make it better for the age of our population, because you don't have, I'm told, every time I attend a school board meeting, families don't have computers. I'm told that. I don't know whether that's true or not. My generation and older, we're doing pretty well, but I'm not a big fan of social media. We don't do social media. So, and I always relied on the newspaper. As I said, in this one, it was Union County, the only newspaper that gave a darn about us, but they're not covering us. I don't think we have a Liberty Herald reporter here. You probably haven't had one in weeks or months, I don't know. I know the meetings we've attended or advertised, they don't show up. And then the reporting that's going on now doesn't give you the details that you need to know. So I think, I hate this term, but I think you have to start thinking outside the box, doing different things, not always just looking at the small number line items. This has got to be a big, bold initiative to change the way we're doing business, because it's just going to get worse, I really think. And I think you showed that on Tuesday night with all the numbers and where it's going to go. So I think it's important for the community. Hope maybe you'll consider. I think that's a big thing. If you don't consider some of these different ideas and we just keep going along, that's where the community gets discouraged. That you're not responding to some of the things that some of us are saying. And I know I experienced that when I was on the school board. I was oftentimes a lone voice in trying to cut things down, when we weren't really gonna hurt children on some of it. So that's the extent of my comments. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
On Melanie's note, I had a constituent come in and talk to me, or catch me at home and talk to me a little bit about the meeting we had, and made some suggestions. She suggests, because, again, in concurrence to what Melanie said, that our meeting information is not getting out to the public. She felt like there should have been a lot more in attendance the other evening. And again, you've got those that have ball games or things of that nature, can't make it, or family obligations, different stuff like that. She did make the suggestion of maybe contacting our local businesses around town with the marquees and asking them to maybe put in just a quick blurb, Union County Town Council meeting, 4-H building, time, date, just something. And so as we were sitting there, we were discussing, Edwards has a new one, Woodruff has one, Birches has one, State Bank, Bass State Bank on the way to College Corner has one. The Quick Picks out north of town, as you're leaving town, I believe they have one. We didn't know if the schools might have one. And that way we could maybe catch a lot of concerned parents, or let the parents at least know if it's on a marquee. Jeff, I
Yes,
didn't
ma'am.
know, I took her initiative and went one step further with it. Cause you have one at the Nazarene Church.
Yes, ma'am. Be glad to put it up there.
So we didn't know that, but also, is there any way that maybe we could reach out to the pastors and have them put it in their bulletin?
Sure.
For the October.
Great idea.
I mean, it's a little late for this, but it was a suggestion, because we are gonna have to come to a term that night, or hold another meeting if we just can't at that meeting in October. But I think we've given ourselves enough time that we could have another meeting if we had to. I know that puts Beth in a little bit of a crunch, but, to get everything filed, but if we had to, maybe we could do that. The only other one I couldn't think of, I don't think Liberty Bell has one that you program in. I think it's just a sign, but there again, maybe they would just put it out on their, they do have a stationary marquee, and I didn't know if maybe we could use that. And so I told her that I would bring her suggestion to the meeting today, and we could discuss it. And she also suggested maybe we have an audible system for the next meeting. She said that upon the end of the meeting, she was speaking with a friend that was sitting closer to the back, and said that she had a hard time hearing what was being said, and he was very softly spoken. I thought, I mean, if you compare his voice to Tim's voice, Tim's carries, I mean, it filled the whole room, everybody could hear him. The gentleman that presented, Tuesday evening, he was kind of soft-spoken, wasn't very loud. I think, Beth, you were sitting in the very back, how'd you hear him?
Well, I could hear when people weren't squealing their chairs. That is all.
Yes.
But, I mean, but I was familiar with what he was presenting because I've heard it in a meeting before, so.
Right. So, but yes, so that was another concern, that she brought to the meeting, or suggestion was that maybe we get some kind of microphone for this, for whoever comes again to the meeting to be able to articulate further back into the room. The other suggestion she made, and she wasn't quite sure, and I told her I would ask, in this proposal that they're proposing, or that is through Senate Bill 1, they're saying that they're trying to pass, we're at age 65, there's no longer any property tax. Is that correct? So if somebody at the age of 65 goes out and buys $1 million property, are there any limitations that's gonna be on this 65? Is
That's
it?
not even in there yet. I don't think we can answer that. That's,
Okay.
I mean, that's a great question.
Because she said, and I agreed with her, for example, say I have a house and I have a 400-acre farm. Is that gonna include the whole farm? It's owned by me, I'm 65. Do I not pay taxes on that anymore? Are there gonna be limitations? And because I don't think we would want that kind of a tax reduction either, just because people will be paying age 65 and don't have to pay taxes, because then that's gonna hit us really hard. You know, or like I said, if I went out and purchased $1 million home and I'm 65, so I don't have to pay any taxes, but say somebody half my age purchased it, they're gonna pay taxes on it for many years. So that's something else that we're gonna want to think about, put in people's ears, that type of thing, or we're gonna find ourselves right where we are again.
Well, currently, that's not how it's written.
Okay.
Currently, with the age and the disability, they were deduction amounts, like a flat deduction amount, and there were qualifications, like for age, you had to own your property for 2 years prior to turning, filing for it. You have to be 65 in that year to be able to file for it to take effect the next year. There was an income limit on an individual of adjusted gross income of 30,000 and 40 for a couple. That has changed to 60,000 and 70,000. So that's going to allow more people to qualify for the age deduction. The deduction is not a deduction now that comes off of your assessed value. Currently, you have your assessed value, you subtract your homestead, subtract the deduction amount, which was $14,000 for a age deduction. Then you get your net assessment, and that's what taxes are based on. How they've changed it now, it's no longer a deduction, it's a credit. So they'll take the homestead off, then you'll get your net assessment, taxes will be calculated, and then a flat $150 comes off whatever your taxes are calculated at. So, and the same with the disability deduction, except for the disability deduction is a flat $125 off.
And it's just homestead, right, Beth, and not excess farmland and stuff like that?
Let's see, on the homestead, that's the one that there's gonna change over 5 years, where the homestead deduction will eventually be eliminated with
Right.
the increase of the supplemental. That one did have an or that one does not have it was only like an acre. That's a more question for the assessor. That one was like an acre, your buildings, and I know recently they changed that to include other things like pools and gazebos and things like that. So,
So there are some restrictions.
Yeah, there still are some
When
restrictions.
it's done. Okay, okay. That's what I wanted to get, thank you.
Could I make one more comment? The other idea we had in terms of communication, is there any way you could do a blast email or a blast text, like when we get the emergency management on weather, severe weather, for those of us who would be interested in getting communicated that way?
Something that that's Joe.
Well, we chatted a
It
little bit.
is doable. I've never done it on that scale. I coached baseball and wrestling at the school for years, and that's how I communicated with my players and parents. Type one message, hit send, and they all get it. Now, that's not an automatic thing. People have to sign up for that. I'm sure that the messaging type systems that I am currently aware of, I use Line. It's kind of like a messaging app. I use that with some of the offices when they have a problem. They'll send me a message online to where I can know I need to rearrange my day and come see somebody. I've never done it on a mass scale like that. And I don't think you could mandatorily do that to people, but if they were to sign up for it, put something in
Right,
place
it's
to
like
sign
that,
up
we used
for
to
it.
have that emergency, was it Red, Co-Red, or whatever it was in the county, I can't remember the name of it.
Nixel's what it is now. She's right, it was called
But
Code
even
Red
they
back
had
in
to
the
pay for
day.
that.
Yeah, that's a different animal. That's a
They had to pay
payable
for it, and you're right,
type.
they did have to sign up for it,
Yeah.
give out their information or whatever, so.
Well, we get the one call for the school now, and then they also have one call for the Gleaners organization that shows up at the different locations.
And the town has something for town residents that, because I get a text like about rocking service or, you know, that the office is gonna be closed on a
But
holiday.
see, there they've got your information, so it's something you
True.
don't have to sign up for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be a sign-up situation. You have to
Just-
compile a
just-
database for it to get it all out. So you've got to find some way, whether you do it at events you have in the community or whatever, to have the sign-ups.
Right.
We're fortunate at school because they have to sign up to come to school basically, so we have that. But for the community, you have to make sure you have somehow.
Right.
And, you know, I think you can get a number of people, but, you know, unless you get a mass of them, it's not gonna be maybe to the effect you want it to.
Yeah, let me add on top of that too. So these messaging programs that I am speaking of, I would highly recommend not using those because not only can you blast to them, they can blast to you.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
And if you send a message out to, let's say, 3,000 people, I'd say there's a pretty high percentage of them that are going to respond with something, and whoever's the point of contact for that is just going to, it's not going to be effective. It almost has to be something similar to the one call,
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can't get one that's not non-responsive.
not free that I'm aware of. I never thought of that.
Do we pay for Nixle for the emergency management?
Not that I'm aware of.
Didn't we have to sign up for that, or did it just get moved from?
I think
the
we did
previous-
No, I signed up for Nixle.
I did too, I thought, yeah.
We did it, the county did away with that one call or whatever it was.
I don't know if Nixle.
I'll tell you what, I'll take that as a look at. I'll do the research on that, see if I can find out. We do not want one that's just a general messaging thing, which would work great in small groups. Not so much in,
Mass.
yeah, that would really not be good.
Well, I know I get these emails or whatever, and they'll say, do not respond, or, you know, things like that. So,
I'll take that.
thank you, appreciate it, thank you, Jeff.
No problem.
So what do you think about the marquees and the
I appoint you to take over.
Well, that's fine, I don't mind doing that, Bonnie, it's just, I wanted to know, I don't wanna just go do it, I would like feedback from you guys, and do you think it's well worth it?
Sure.
If
I think if
Anything would help.
I think if they're willing to allow us to do that, I think it's a great idea.
If they want to participate.
You give me the date and time and location, it'll be on the signboard of our church before dark.
Okay. Will do.
And some of them might not get it on there till 2 or 3 days before.
It is something that you bring us up, because since we put our new signboard up, I've had numerous compliments on it, and people say, I like just sitting there and seeing what all comes up on it. And so it is very effective.
Like a town crier.
Just about, yeah, it's just very effective.
Would you happen to have a list of all the contacts for the current pastors, ministers?
Yeah,
in
I can
our
get that.
community that
I
I
can
can
get
reach
that.
out to?
Sure.
Okay.
Just for, what does, something like that cost?
$27,000, and that was 3 years ago.
Because it would be nice if we had our own out here.
That was, yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, it would be. That's a good point.
You know, also, I'll print up a bunch of flyers and I'll ask Tim if they'll put them in bags. when
There you
people
go.
Come to Woodard's.
Perfect.
And I'll print up the flyer that you created, Tyler, and maybe,
Maybe we edit it for just having it
yeah.
after the meeting.
And then maybe we can, ask that they stuff bags at Woodard's.
Yep.
I mean, that might be something as well.
Yep.
Why couldn't it, what, does the, what'd you say, Joanna, tourism?
The tourism commission should pay for it,
Yes,
would help them.
yes.
UCDC's got a small one. They have a small marquee.
Just a couple things. So the Lions Club has they're manual, they're pulled behind that they do on a trailer. Those could be pulled up here in front of the courthouse and you just stick the letters up, and I'm sure they would be glad to donate that, for that use. They might need them for something and want to take them at some point in time, but for temporary use, those can be put wherever you want it. I've used those before for that type of thing. I contacted Carl Sharp. Now, just to be the devil's advocate, can I ask a question? What's Tim have on sale right now on his marquee?
Well,
Okay, let me ask a second question. What's Birch's say right now? We're throwing this out there, as these are all good ideas and we'll make it better. But you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
but then I can't, if we take these extra steps.
Yeah, it's a good
and
idea.
we try to communicate.
We're trying, yes.
To everyone the best way we can.
Yep.
Then they can't come back on us and say, well, I was not aware, I did not
I know,
hear
I
about
know,
it.
I know we're trying, I know we're trying. I honestly think the best answer is something like a one-call system, because that forces it to them.
Yeah.
That makes the horse drink.
Yeah. But we don't really have that many special meetings. Most everybody knows we're at third Thursday of the month.
Okay.
Oh, I agree.
But, I think we only need to pursue this, like, when we're having a special meeting.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to put water on you. I applaud that you're trying to do something for it.
Well, it's like anything.
We get used to it, right? Yeah, I know it's,
I like the manual sign because if you pull up to a stoplight, it's easy to read it because it says one thing. Where you don't have time to sit, to go through the whole rotation of the marquee,
Right.
unless that's the only thing that's on it.
Yeah, when you get up to the stoplight.
So
I agree.
the manual is for especially special things, a one-time thing.
Would those be, if we, the Lions Club did offer to donate those, they can sit on the courthouse lawn? Yes, because it's a county.
I'm sure the commissioners wouldn't have any problem with that.
Do we need to ask them?
probably should. I'll take that follow-up and talk to Carl, and then I'll talk to the commissioners and make sure it's okay.
Thank you.
So one thing that I spoke with Jim Williams about, and I think I emailed the council so we can talk about this. Our official meeting that we advertised to make a decision is October 1st.
We're gonna make a decision that night. I thought we were gonna do it at the regular meeting. Later.
I thought that we could make a decision one way or the other and then make the final decision at our regular meeting, but that is not how it works. So the official decision, the way it's advertised now, is that we have to make that decision October 1. That's either yay or nay, and if it's a yay, then what the splits are. So we have to have some thought process. I don't know, I've never been through this before, so I don't know exactly how. All I know is that I did call him yesterday morning after the meeting and said, I felt like there was some unrest. I mean, I felt like there was great participation for what the people that were there. And I felt like it applied, which is the right thing, it applied pressure that we have to make a decision. He did say that there's probably a chance that we could re-advertise, but I don't feel like that's the right thing to do. That's just my opinion. I feel like we advertise, we set the dates, our feet are to the fire, we need to make a decision.
Question. We wouldn't have to do all three, correct?
No, you don't have to do all three.
And we wouldn't have to do the .2. We could lower it to .1.
Correct.
Am I correct? We just can't go over that.
Correct.
Okay, I want to make sure I was thinking and doing that right.
Correct. If the highest we could go is 0.75, and then we can, but in EMS, the highest we can go is 0.2.
Right.
So you can do,
Yeah.
that's why I felt like there was
I got you.
some pressure if that was something we were gonna consider. That it has to be, the decision has to be made then, at a public meeting.
So in other words, you can get people to attend, but any debate, you can hear it. I mean, how are we going, if we place all this information out there for those to hear, and they come, not having come to the first meeting, have questions, concerns, it's kind of almost,
Well, you'd have a public time. And then after that public time, there'd be no discussion after that, and we would take a vote.
but we have to already kind of have what we're gonna do in place prior to this.
I think we have,
And we aren't gonna meet before then until
We are
just
not.
today.
correct.
So that's what I'm saying, we're gonna have to kind of make our decision today.
Well, after today, we should have an idea of what we need.
I mean, so you have to open it up, start the meeting, public discussion. And then, right, we have to be, not only whether we are or aren't, but if we are, that's a decision we have to know that day, what we agree to as what the splits will be in the percentage. I don't feel comfortable making that decision today. I don't feel comfortable with all that based on the first meeting we had. I felt like there was a lot of things that made me think. And I was really appreciative to all the people that brought the information they did and their concerns. And even after the meeting, people stuck around and I was appreciative about that. But I feel like I want to hear the next round of what people want to say, and hopefully there's more people October 1st, but then what I'm saying is that puts us under a really tight crunch that says then we have to, and that's just part of being in the position we're in right now, that then we have to sit there and make a decision, have our own debate, have our own thoughts, based on what the input we've received for the people that came. So, yes, it's gonna be tough. I mean, Jim did say, you know, I think you could probably re-advertise, but I just don't feel like, and maybe you guys feel differently, I don't feel like that's something we should do. I mean, I feel like we've done it, probably need to take this time the next week and a half and blast it out the best we can. I mean, do you guys feel like we need to advertise again? Because remember, we're not gonna have, it has to be decided by October 31st. And we only have one.
What time Baker Tilly will be doing that for us, right? They're
Yeah.
doing all that work.
Yes,
And does it have to be decided October 31st or decided by then?
No, it has to be filed.
it has to be filed by October 31st. I mean, I'm not against having extra council meetings if that's what we need to do. But we just need to think about that time frame and where we're at and what we need to do. But because we advertise that as a public hearing, we have to decide then.
I just think you need to make sure that when the public participation is over, that you need to say the floor is closed. So that we don't have people standing up and arguing, fussing and fighting with us.
Well, I actually printed out Robert's rules for that, so I'll do my best to be prepared. Unless someone else would like to step in.
No, you're doing a great job.
So I don't know, I don't know if there's really more to talk about today. I mean, I think we're all still thinking and you're talking to folks outside of here. But I guess that was something I really wanted to, kind of point out is that really need to think and talk to your folks and hopefully a lot more come October 1st and think about, Ellie actually captured all the comments and she sent that to us in email so we can reread those and revisit what was said, and I appreciate that. That was great. Spent some time on that this morning actually again, so I just think it's something we need to keep in our forefront that it's a big decision to make and not very much time to think about it. Anything else you guys want to talk about pertaining to that, or any other suggestions, thoughts? Is there anything else to come before the council before we start the additional appropriations and transfers? Okay. Cuban Bridge, $400,000. That is the additional, that is going, the current fund balance is $852,509. This is actually, for that additional Crossroads grant that he already brought to us.
Make a motion we pass the approval.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And then the highway restricted fund, $700,000. That is the additional appropriation needed to pay for the county portion of the current community crossings plus the additional road paving.
Make a motion to approve the highway restricted.
Got a motion?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? UCDC, $9,665.
We didn't see what that was for, did we?
Actually, he put it here, I think we heard this before, but he put it more, a little bit more clarity. Harvest Fest, $3,255. And they've already been to the tourism board, and the board voted these and approved them. Lions Club Smoke on the Water, $1,555, and that was for advertising on the billboard. A discount days promotion was introduced to help local businesses reach and incentivize customers to shop in Union County. That promotion will take place in mid-October for a week. It'll go to Kix 96 for a radio ad campaign totaling $1,800 and a highway billboard for $555. That total will be $2,355. And then a drone light show was proposed for the Christmas in our hometown to take place on December 6th. It was proposed that these shows take place oftentimes in replace of fireworks. This proposal was for $2,500 to $5,000 for a 10-minute show. After consideration, the board voted favorably to recommend to council funding for a $2,500 show. Those 4 items total the $9,665 from tourism.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I misspoke. The Smoke on the Water, there was $555 for the advertising on the billboard and a $1,000 donation to help with the music entertainment for that $1,555.
Move to approve.
A second.
Any other discussion or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
State 911 fund, additional appropriation. This is needed to cover OASI and her for additionals of wages that have been previously requested. She forgot to put in her OASI in her last increase.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? And then we have a couple transfers. We are transferring around, moving funds needed to cover, this is the 911 fund again. Moving funds needed to cover part-time and overtime for shift coverage from staff shortage. So she's moving things from salary and putting them in part-time and decreasing salary and putting them into overtime.
Was that advertised? It's not on the agenda.
This was a late night drop last night.
Okay, salaries you have to publicize.
This,
No, not on transfer.
it's
It's not an additional
It's
transfer.
not an additional.
the same count.
I still think on transfer.
You don't think we have to advertise? You do think we have to advertise?
Well, if you're increasing one,
It's a line item transfer.
no, but I think even if you do a transfer in salaries or wages, you have to advertise. But, I say, I could be wrong.
Hmm.
That's changed, I just know we didn't have
Is she gonna be in the negative if we don't authorize this?
to already.
So, I suggest we do it, and then we follow up and ask if we need to advertise in the future to fix the negative balance. I mean, we already,
It's in one salary going to another, correct?
it's going from
I don't have any.
1,000.12 salary is decreasing, and it's going into the part-time line item of 1,000.18.
So the budget itself isn't changing, it's
Right.
just
Right,
moving it
she's just
within the
moving it
same
with the same,
series of numbers.
yes,
And how much is it?
$4,600. So she's taking out $3,000 from her salary line item and putting $3,000 into the part-time line item and decreasing the other salary line item, I know what she's doing. Her staff is short, so she's not spending the money in that salary line item because their salaries aren't there. And she's moving that money over to part-time and overtime that she didn't have enough budgeted for. But if you're not spending out of that salary line item because she's short-staffed, she's trying to cover it with her other line items.
She's 2 full-time dispatchers short right now.
I move it through. Transfer.
Second.
Any other discussion or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Transfer of funds for the treasurer, $288.35 coming from postage freight into office supplies. And this is to reorder bank deposit slips required by the SBOA. And there wasn't enough money in office supplies to do it.
I move we approve that transfer.
I'll second.
Any other discussion or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Anything else that needs to come before the council before we close this and open up our floor?
Can I give you a quick update on our other 800 radios that we were, in the last month, you folks approved to buy 5 radios. Now that's a short 5. Since then, we've had private donations, and we've got 3 of the 5 radios paid for. So that looks good. And our church donated 2 radios. We've had private donations for another radio and a half, if that makes sense. And then, for whatever it's worth, the church board said that if we did not come up with the rest, they would come back and they would finish it out. So that's a good thing.
That's good. We appreciate that.
Adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Chris and Tyler? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?